Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of the HT Physio Quick Tip series. My name is Will Harlow and I'm the Over-Fifties Specialist Physio here at HT Physio in Farnham. And today we're going to be talking about the 6 most common causes of pain at the back of the knee. So if you're watching this video, chances are you might be suffering with a condition that's causing pain at the back of your knee. And perhaps you're wondering, what on earth is causing it? What are the possible issues? Maybe you've looked on Google and a lot of different things have come up and you think, I'm not really sure which one is me. Well, hopefully this video will have the answers for you. So there are 6 common causes of pain at the back of the knee that I see very often for over 50s in my clinic. We're going to talk about what each of these are, what might have caused them, and hopefully give you some idea of whether or not these fit with your pain. So to help me explain, I'm going to take my knee model as always. And what we're talking about here is if we're looking at the knee, this is the back of the knee. So anywhere around here, if there's a problem, it can feel like there's pain at the back of the knee. So the knee obviously looks like this, it bends here. And just to give you an outline of what we've got at the back of the knee, we've got the shin bone or the back of the shin bone here, the tibia. We've got the back of the thigh bone, the femur, which comes up here. And these are what we call the condyles, the femoral condyles. So these are the bits that make up the top of the knee joint. And then under here, we've got the tibial plateau. So this is the flat part of the shin bone, which makes up the bottom part of the knee joint. In the middle of the knee, we've got these layers here, these 2 jelly-like things. These are called the menisci or meniscus when it's singular. And inside the knee, we've got a couple of different ligaments. We've got the anterior cruciate ligament and the posterior cruciate ligament as well. So, pain at the back of the knee, what could be causing it? Well, the first cause of pain at the back of the knee is an injury to the meniscus. So the meniscus is this inner layer here, and it's like a shock absorber. It helps to dissipate the forces as they come up through the legs when we walk and run and things like that. But it doesn't like twisting. And over time, especially for over 50s, people who are active, people who do a lot of walking, they can end up getting tiny, tiny tears in the meniscus, usually just through wear and tear from a fair bit of twisting over the course of their lives. And quite often meniscus pain is on the side of the knee, but many times it also feels like it's around just the back of the knee. So if your pain at the back of the knee is slightly to one side, either here or here, there's a chance it could be a meniscus tear. Now these can happen for people over 50. They can also happen for the younger population, especially people who play sport. If they happen to younger people, then they tend to be much more severe at the time and they come on suddenly. If they happen to older people, it tends to be a much more gradual process, which starts off quite mild but can get worse and worse as time goes on. So a meniscus tear is the first cause of pain at the back of the knee. Now the second cause of pain at the back of the knee, and this is something that affects many people, is arthritis. Now arthritis just describes the process of the loss of cartilage in the space between the joint. So you can't see the cartilage in this diagram, but it sits on top of the bones and it basically helps to lubricate the movement of all the joints in our body. Now as we get older, we lose cartilage, which means the bones can come closer together within the joint, and this can cause stiffness and sometimes pain. So one of the key indicators of this being your problem is if you wake up in the morning and for the first 15 to 30 minutes you have a fair bit of pain and stiffness around the back of the knee, that can be a sign that arthritis is causing the pain at the back of your knee. Now the third cause of pain at the back of the knee is something called a Baker's cyst. Now a Baker's cyst is a swelling right here in the middle of the back of the knee. Okay, so it sits about here and it can feel like a big lump. So if you feel behind your knee and you notice that there is actually a bit of a lump there and perhaps it's not on the other side, then it could be that you have a Baker's cyst. Now, a Baker's cyst is not really like other cysts in the body. It's actually just a swelling of a part of the capsule. So it's not like anything is growing at the back of your knee. It's just that a certain part of the capsule has filled with fluid and it's starting to push out backwards. Now, a Baker's cyst can be a sign of arthritis in the knee. It's a very common symptom that comes along with arthritis. And once upon a time, we used to drain Baker's cysts. So we used to try and suck the fluid out. We learned over time that this was kind of pointless because the fluid just comes back. So the treatment now for a Baker's cyst is the same treatment as you would get for arthritis in the knee joint. But it can help to indicate what's going on. If you feel the back of your knee and you can feel a lump there, that can often be a Baker's cyst. Now, whenever you find a lump on your body, it's important not to try and self-diagnose. So if you do feel a lump there, do go and get it checked out, because in very rare circumstances, it could be something else. So don't just assume a lump is a Baker's cyst, always go and get it checked out. Now, the next cause of pain at the back of the knee is a hamstring strain. So your hamstrings are a group of muscles that sit here at the back of the thigh, and they join to the bones down here, so either the fibula or the tibia in the shin, and they run all the way up to the hips. So they're quite a long muscle. You've probably heard of the hamstrings before. They're very important for people like footballers and rugby players. Anyone who runs at high speeds, they use a lot of hamstring muscle. Now, there are certain conditions that can affect the hamstrings. The most common ones that cause pain towards the back of the knee are hamstring strains, and they're usually caused by a sudden movement or a quick change of direction, or running at full speed, feeling something ping or feeling something go at the back of the leg, and then pain starting from there. So if your pain felt like it started suddenly and it started just above the knee, so back here above the knee joint, it could well be that you're suffering from a hamstring strain. Now, the next common cause of pain at the back of the knee is a problem with the calf muscle. So similar to the hamstrings, the calves are at the back of the leg, but they're down below the knee joint. So the calves attach to these, the condyles at the back of the femur. They run all the way down into the shin bone, and then they attach to the heel bone. So the calves are what allow us to push off our feet and to propel us forward. Now, the calf muscle is an area that I've spoken a lot about in other videos because it's a very important part of the body. And because it has attachments that go right up behind the knee, if you have a calf strain or an issue with the tendons up here, that can sometimes feel like it's pain right over the joint line at the back of the knee as well. So again, calf problems often start suddenly. So if you've been walking or if you've been running and you felt something tear just below the knee, then that can often be the signs of a calf strain. Calf problems can be more difficult to diagnose, so if you have this type of issue, do get checked out by someone who knows what they're talking about so that they can guide you in the right direction. And finally, the last cause of pain at the back of the knee that we're going to talk about today is something called sciatica. So sciatica is actually not a problem to do with the knee at all. It's a problem to do with the sciatic nerve. And the sciatic nerve is the biggest nerve in the human body. It starts in the spine and then it runs all the way down the back of the leg right to the toes. Now, if you have any area of your back or your hips that ends up pinching on the sciatic nerve, it can actually send pain right down the course of the nerve. Okay, so if anyone talks about sciatica and they're talking about pain running down the back of their leg, that is what we would call classic sciatica. Now, often the pain doesn't go all the way down from top to bottom. It can actually just be in one part of the leg, which can make it quite difficult to diagnose. I've had many patients who've come in and they've said, I've got this pain just at the back of my knee. I've asked them, do you have any back pain or hip pain? They say no. But then when we've assessed them thoroughly, it becomes clear that it's actually the sciatic nerve that's causing their back of the knee pain. So if you have a burning pain, if you have a pain that tends to get worse when you're sitting, if you have a pain that tends to get worse when you bend forward, these can all be signs of a sciatic nerve problem causing pain at the back of the knee. So with the human body, things aren't always as they appear, which is why it's always important to get checked out and to get a proper medical opinion. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today. Let's just have a quick recap of the 6 things that can cause pain at the back of the knee. We have a meniscus tear, we have arthritis in the knee, we have a hamstring problem, we have a calf problem, we have a Baker's cyst, which is like a lump at the back of the knee, and we have sciatica. So those are the 6 causes. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you want to get more great information about how to maintain and improve knee health in your 50s and beyond, the Optimum Knee Health Program that I'm releasing very soon should be perfect for you. You can find details of that below this video. The other alternative, if you want to pick up something today, is to grab a copy of my book. It's called Thriving Beyond 50. And you can pick up a copy on Amazon using the link below this video. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. If you can spare me 2 seconds of your time, please do subscribe to the channel and like the video because it helps me reach more people. But otherwise, I look forward to speaking to you on the next video.